right, so again, good afternoon, everyone. This is Valerie calling from Metrics Learning. I'm one of the people here at Metrics who will be helping mentor this program. So again, this is the QuickBooks 2012 certification program. So what we'll be going over today are a few things. First, we'll go over the value of certifications. Then we'll review the program. We'll give contact information. And finally, we'll give a demonstration of the system. So first, actually, to give a bit of background, my name is Valerie. I work for New York Wired for Education, Metrics Learning. My coworker Nikki and I are here with you today. We are two of the program mentors for this program. I mentioned previously that we are both certified in QuickBooks, and we're here to mentor you through the program and address any questions that you have. A third staff member, Liz, is also here. So we have all three of us are certified in QuickBooks. We've gone through all the training, the certification testing, and again, our main purpose is to help mentor you to get this certification. So first, we'll speak about the value of certifications. We know that employers do look for certifications. They are very important for building your skill level. They help show an employer that you have the skills to qualify you for the position. Again, that validates your skills. QuickBooks specifically is a great certification to have. 85% of small businesses use QuickBooks as their accounting system. So for those of you who are going to enter, finance field, if you're looking to administration, this is a great program to know how to use. It's very user-friendly. This program will help kind of bring you from the bottom up that I had mentioned. For those of you who don't have any experience, we will help bring you through this program. So the program is structured as follows. This will be a 30-day QuickBooks program. So within 1 month from today, you can expect to take all the training and then your certification exam. The program consists of self-paced online training that's delivered via Metrics Learning, which is our online learning system. So the mandatory webinars and course completion dates, I'll go over that later on in this presentation here. And industry certification testing will be at the Career Center. Also, we'll be following up with you to see how your employment is after this program here. All right, so let's move to the next slide here. So the expectations of this program are as follows: to help you learn the features and capabilities of QuickBooks, help you successfully complete training, help you to gain an Intuit QuickBooks certified user credential, and finally, help you to increase your employability and move into employment. Training consists of the following. All of your training will automatically be loaded into your Metrics Learning My Plans. You'll see that when you walk into your account. The first thing you will take is the Mastering QuickBooks Level 1 course. This is a training provided by Real World Training. They are the only Intuit-approved online training provider. This is a 12-hour lecture. This is an estimate of training, but we find that most people, like myself, who go through, they take notes, it'll be an estimated 10 hours per day 1 and day 2. You'll see that the training is broken into 2 different sections, which helps you go along with the structure of the program as well. So throughout this program, we'll be referring to day 1 and day 2 of training. Next, you will take practice quizzes through QuickBooks. So we have created some practice quizzes that consist of different questions that you'll see on the exam. So the QuickBooks certification exam itself is multiple choice questions. So you'll get access to 2 50-question quizzes, and they're required to pass in order to get the voucher for the certification exam. Then, after you pass these QuickBooks practice quizzes we'll provide you with, you will receive access to QuickBooks practice tests. So these very closely replicate the certification exam itself. With the voucher that you get 3 practice quizzes per. So with this, again, they very closely replicate the exam, and we do require that you complete at minimum 1 exam prior to testing. Lastly, in the metrics learning system, we do have access to a QuickBooks 2009 course, and this is optional to take if you want some hands-on simulation, but again, it's not required to take in order to get the voucher for the certification exam. So you will be receiving a bunch of documents through this program. The first that I'll be going over right now is the virtual program calendar. So you'll see the calendar you receive. There are a couple of different dates. They're all highlighted in different colors. Webinars are yellow. The dates that you have to complete courses are in orange. And then for your personal calendars, the blue will be for testing. So today is day 1 of the webinar. This is when the program begins. You're at the orientation session. So then the next thing on here, you can see that Friday, October 10th is when you must complete 1/2 of the Mastering QuickBooks Level 1 trainings. That will be day 1 of training, approximately 8 to 10 hours. Then next Monday, October 13th, will be a live Q&A session. So it will be a webinar just like this, and you'll be able to access that and be on site for that orientation because, again, this location is open for the holiday. On Friday, October 17th, will be day 2 of the Mastering QuickBooks Level 1 training. So again, that will make more sense once you're in the course. Then on Wednesday, October 22nd, you must complete each of the Quiz Star assessments. So again, those are 250 multiple choice assessments, and you'll get access to those once you complete your Mastering QuickBooks course. Then on Thursday, October 23rd, you must complete at least 1 practice test from Certiport, which you'll get with the voucher. Finally, on Friday, October 24th, will be our final review webinar. I will go over to the certification process. You'll be on site at PA Career Link for that too. Then the last item in here, the week of Monday, October 27th through Friday, October 31st, will be certification testing at the One Stop. You'll want to contact Brenda Chavez at PA Career Link to arrange a testing time and date. Additional materials to receive. You should have received your metrics login information. And following the webinar, we will be sending you your program calendar. So again, that will be that same structure I just showed you, and a document called QuickBooks Tabs Menus. So this, with the way that the course was loaded into the course player, the very top is cut off. Along with that, we have taken some screenshots of the different tabs and menus, which is the part that is cut off in the QuickBooks interface, so you won't be missing out on any information. In addition, you will be accessing the Mastering QuickBooks Learning Manuals. There are 2 manuals, one for day 1 and one for day 2, that are available in the course. So we'll show you how to access those momentarily in the webinar. So program contact information. So I mentioned there are 3 of us here who will be serving as mentors for this program. Myself, Valerie, Nikki, my coworker here, as well as Liz. So we are available at the following, either by email, which is listed here, support@metricslearning, or nywiredtrainer@gmail.com is where you'll receive emails from us. And we're also available through support tickets as well as phone. We are here in the office from 8:30 to 5, Monday to Friday, so if something arises during those hours, we're fairly instantaneous in getting back. But if it does happen over the weekend, we'll be the first thing we address the following business day we come in. And again, for scheduling certification testing, once you get to that point, you will contact the Career Center. So now I'm going to give a brief demonstration of the metrics system and how you will access training. As I mentioned, all of your training will automatically be loaded into your metrics learning account. So when you've already been sent your username and password as well as your URL that you'll go to log in. But once you log into the metrics learning system, you'll be brought to the Getting Started page, and this spells out the 6 steps to metrics. So there's a good deal and amount of functions that go along with metrics learning, but as I mentioned, everything you'll be doing is automatically loaded into your My Plan. So to get to your My Plan, you go to My Plan, View My Plan, and here you'll see the different activities that you're taking. So you'll want to take the certification tutorial, which briefly goes over the certification process, access the info sheet, which gives you information about QuickBooks, and then Mastering QuickBooks Level 1 is that course that I mentioned. Again, this is the bulk of the training you'll be taking. To launch a course, you'll click on the green arrow button under Action. So once you do this, you're brought to the course player. You can see here on the left there's a navigation bar, and each of these are different bubbles, and each of these are different links too. So in order to start training, you'll click on the underlined link and you'll play through the video. So again, I mentioned that this is a lecture. There's no hands-on portion with this. You'll get practice questions and that type of thing afterwards. But you can see here that there are different sections with the different bubbles. So once you click on a section, the video player will begin. When you start a section, you will see that the bubble turns yellow. When you complete a section, you will see that it turns green. So you'll want to make sure that all the bubbles all along the course player are green to signify that you have completed the different sections. So metrics learning is most compatible with Internet Explorer. However, if you are unable to access training through Internet Explorer, Google Chrome does work. With Chrome, these bubbles will not fill in. So if you do experience this, you'll see that they won't fill in here. If you've completed the course and everything isn't filled in at the end, please contact us and we can change that over to complete for you. So I'm going to scroll down to the bottom here. I mentioned that there are 2 manuals for day 1 and day 2 of training. So in order to download the manual, you want to click on the link, and this will give you a PDF. So the manuals for day 1 and day 2 are each about 100 pages in length. Some people choose to print them. Personally, I did not because I didn't want to go and flip through all those different manuals. In addition, what I found was if I needed help on a specific section, I could do a Control F or find and look at the different sections by topic. For instance, if I was struggling with reports, I could find reports, then day 1 or day 2 manual, and I can go ahead and search it that way. So again, you can choose to save this, you can choose to print, but my personal recommendation is just saving this to your desktop where it's easily accessible. So going back to the metrics learning system, something I'll quickly show you too, the browser check here will make sure that all of my computer settings are compatible with metrics. There are a few different things you need to make sure that you have. First, we do recommend you use Internet Explorer. Chrome is compatible, but again, those bubbles might not fill in. You also need to make sure that your pop-ups are allowed. You must allow pop-ups because that's how Courses plays in a separate window. In addition, you must have the most recent versions of Flash and Java. Those are both programs that are needed for many different programs to run. So if you can't get a course to launch, if it keeps saying please wait, or it's not loading at all, it might be one of these things. So just make sure your browser check is good. If you still have trouble, you can either email or call us by phone at the information I'd shown you earlier, or under Help Support, you can create a support ticket. So here you can give a title and a description to the problem that you're having. We'll be able to see your computer settings and we'll respond to you within 1 business day with any questions that you may have. So at this point, this concludes everything I have on my end for the overview for the certification program. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make sure that I can hear you all. Your phone is unmuted, and we're open to any questions that you have.
All right, we have a couple questions. I'm having to walk over 1 second.
Hi, Valerie. It's Maria Holder.
Hi, Maria.
I have a question. When I go to my plan, are those 3 items going to be up on my computer, or do I have to search for them?
That's a great question, Maria. Everything is automatically loaded into your My Plan, so it should be there for you.
Okay.
And if it's not, let us know. We'll take a look into your account. But again, it should all be set for you.
Very good. Thank you.
Not a problem.
I'm just about to download. Is everything going to be downloadable since we're doing it through her home computer?
What do you mean?
Like it says that we have to download the 100-page manual and so on. Will we be able to download that to?
Yeah, you'll be able to look at it if you're doing it in our lab here.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you'll be able to look at it. We can probably save it onto a couple of our desktops. Just make sure you keep going back to the computers. Okay. Anybody else have questions?
I have a question. Do you have this manual, this 100 pages, the manual here?
No.
If I want, I have to print it out or just check my...
I mean, you'll be able to access it like she just showed you. So I would say, like I was telling her, if you're going to work on it here, we'll you'll be able to save it to at least our desktop. I'll save it on a couple of computers in there. Did you say that this was going to be on YouTube, or is there a way I can access the whole thing that we just went over?
Yes, so after this session, I will be putting this on YouTube. So both yourself and anyone who wasn't here for today's program can access it.
Okay, all right. Anybody else?
We can start this today.
Yes.
Yes, I know. I did have a question and it just, oh, I'm one that takes notes, okay? So they're saying it's about 10 hours for day one. Would that include me taking my notes, or what if by Friday I'm not done with day one? Will I still be able to access it, continue with it over the weekend?
Valerie, did you hear that?
Yes, that's actually a great question. I heard that. Thank you so much. So I mentioned during the introduction to this that the course is estimated 12 hours, so it's an estimate of 6 hours for day one and 6 hours for day two. But we put 10 because I'm, much like you, a note taker. So I found that it took me closer to 8 or 10 hours to complete each day one or day two section because I was taking notes the entire time, which we highly encourage. So we would like everyone to be finished with the different training sections on those specific dates. But, you know, again, if you're not finished on Friday with the 10 hours, of course you can take over the weekend. Just the main dates that we really need you to complete training by are to have everything done for our final review webinar so that you can move into testing the following week.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anybody else?
I'll have a lot more once I start it.
All right. Well, the next session is a Q&A one too as well, correct?
Yes, we'll be on the line just like this.
Okay. So.
And I guess that manual that she was talking about will help us also.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the manuals are great. What I found is they're kind of step-by-step, and it's kind of like the verbiage that goes along with the lecture course. So myself, the note taker, I would see something, I would take a look in the manual if I had further questions and kind of write notes. But they're definitely great guides.
Probably would want to print them out. We print them out here?
Probably not. I mean, I know in our lab we only allow 15 pages limit, so I don't know if in the resource room but I think everywhere here has a print limit, so I would probably not. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So easy if we have a print.
Yeah, I think it would be easier to, because I like to highlight things right now.
Yeah.
All right, do we have any further questions? Anything else from anyone else?
Good. All right, I think that's everything.
All right, great. Well, everyone, thank you so much for your time today, and especially for your patience, too. If you have any questions, feel free to contact us. You know, throughout this program, we'll be in contact with you, too, and we are looking forward to helping you get the certification and working toward this program with you.
All right, thank you.
All right, have a good day, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.